this September. Bad blood will be settled.
This is more than personal.
The long-awaited trilogy.
There's real bad blood here.
Canelo versus Triple G. September 17th, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Visit DAZN.com.
This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Hearn. We're here in Las Vegas. Canelo, Triple G, the trilogy. Before we get there, though, it's been a weird 48 hours. A lot of news coming out. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, terms accepted. Draft contracts apparently imminent. What are the hurdles going to be for this to not happen? Because it seems like everything's running along quite swimmingly, to say the least.
I think maybe that all of a sudden they don't want the fight, or they're not true to their word. Ultimately, there's still conversations that have to happen between the broadcaster. You can go that way if you want. But it's positive, We received an offer from Queensberry last week. I met with George Warren on Friday. Obviously, the Queen passed on Friday, and we accepted terms in writing on Friday, but we chose not to say anything. And just this morning, I feel like AJ wanted to come out and just say, sorry,
fucking mental in here, innit?
Yeah. We've accepted terms, which we have. I didn't feel like the terms were perfect, but it doesn't really matter what I feel, because he wanted the fight, and he's wanted the fight for a long time. He signed for the fight before, and he said, I want the fight. I may never get it again. Let's do it.
What's the sort of hurdles that could be in the way? Obviously, DAZN, Queensberry Matchroom, BT. How's it going to work? What's being put forward? Is this going to be a joint broadcast situation? What's happening?
It would have to be. AJ's got an exclusive DAZN contract. Fury's got an exclusive BT contract. The two are already talking. I don't feel like they wouldn't be able to find a middle ground. No one's going to want to feel like the person that stopped this fight from happening. There's so much money in the fight for everybody. So, look, it's positive, but we've been here before. So I don't want to get too excited. All I wanted, and I think AJ wanted to let people know, is everything you offered me, I accept. And now we move forward to the contract.
Is there any way it will happen where, because obviously Tyson's 60-40, he's the 6%, he's the quote-unquote A side in this fight. Is there any way AJ would box on a show purely on just BT Sport? There's no way. It has to be DAZN involved.
Contractually, that can't happen, or without DAZN's blessing. But it's not. That's the spirit of this agreement and the discussions with George Warren and the team is that it will be a dual broadcast. BT know that, DAZN know that. So I don't see that being a problem. Let's see what happens over the next few weeks.
Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. I mean, Chris Eubank Sr.'s come out and mentioned this rehydration clause, said the fight's off basically. But Chris Eubank Jr. seems to be eating and living quite well. Talk to me about this scenario, because is this fight in danger, or are we good to go?
The fight's not in danger. I spoke to Callie Sowden yesterday. As Ronnie Davis came out, said Eubank's weight is fine. The board have come out and said we've weighed him, we're happy with his weight. I can't speak for Chris Eubank Sr., but make no mistake as well, the one that's struggling on, or not struggling, the one that is really taking a challenge here is Conor Benn. He's coming up from 147 to 157. He's a welterweight fighting a middleweight. Yes, Eubank's got to come down a couple of pounds. He's been 158 point something before. I think whether they really feel like it's a disadvantage, I'm not so sure. Is it mind games? I'm not so sure, but the fight's on, and you're going to see it.
Isn't it also, as well, a little bit too late? It's been signed and agreed. So it's all right saying it halfway through. But
Conor Benn said that if he beats him, Eubank said he should retire. Eubank should retire if he pulls out the fight, because he'd never be able to box again. He's so confident going into the fight, but also he's a pro. And he's a man of his word, and look, the fight's fine. He ain't not taking this fight. There's so much money for him in the fight. He thinks it's a stroll in the park, this fight. He'll be there on October the 8th.
On a summer's day, apparently, as well. What did you make of that sit-down? I thought it was absolutely...
Addy done a great job. The numbers were huge. I think this is one of the biggest pay-per-views we've ever done. Might be the biggest one, time it comes around. And I can't wait. Two great characters. I thought Eubank was brilliant. Conor Benn was amazing to watch as always, and can't wait for the fight.
Right, let's get to why we're here. Canelo, Triple G. A lot riding on this. This is personal. This isn't just a fight. It's legacy, history, but it is personal. What's your feeling going into this fight? Is Canelo going to be too much for Triple G? Is he getting him in terms of age at the right time? What's your feeling on it?
Honestly, I think he's a tremendous fight. Like, you know, I think up at 168, this is going to really suit Gennady Golovkin. I think you've seen him at 160. He's been there for like 16 years. You know, tight at the weight in the last fight, but still so strong. Don't forget, both guys have granite chins, right? But both guys are going to be trading, taking chances. And that's why it's so dangerous for both men. Canelo Alvarez is coming off a defeat. You know, he really has to put a great performance. I just said to him up on the stage, I said, you look ready. He said, much more than ready. You know, his neck looks like 5 times bigger than it was before. He's trained so hard for this fight. And Gennady Golovkin, I believe, will be looking to leave everything in the ring on Saturday night, because he might be saying to himself, this is it for me. And his chance to become undisputed. People forget about, obviously, because they're all soaked up in the rivalry. This is for the undisputed championship. Something Gennady's been chasing his whole career. So this means a lot to him, this fight. He will give everything. And you'll see a brutal fight at the weekend.
Do you think there'll be any hang-ups whatsoever from Canelo in terms of the Bivol defeat? I know it was at a different weight, but is there a possibility that doubt could sneak into his mind? He's coming off the back of a defeat.
Not with someone like that, but you know, with when he came off the Mayweather defeat, his team said he went into the Angulo fight with a different kind of spite. And Angulo is not Gennady Golovkin, but he's still a good fighter. And Canelo will bring that same spite into the ring on Saturday, which means that we are in for an unbelievable treat. Because the only thing he wants to do is knock Gennady Golovkin out. And he won't be happy unless he does. So you know what kind of fight it's going to be.
100%. Eddie, look, you're wearing Dolce & Gabbana. Are we going to see the pyjamas this week? I mean,
No pajamas.
No pyjamas, I mean, all business.
I'll be honest with you, these jeans are so tight. Shout out to Dolce & Gabbana, but I've lost a bit of weight, but these jeans, these skinny jeans, you know.
You're trying to roll back the years, aren't you?
I've got to breathe out in a minute.
Eddie, appreciate your time. We'll catch up tomorrow.
Mate, thank you.